I am your brother in Christ, and welcome. I am a Christian apologist who focuses on logic, science, history, and cultural context as we dive into the Bible, as well as take on the Quran and Muhammad himself. So, now that I see everything looks good, let's start with the intro. So fantastic. I got a great topic for you guys today. A few weeks ago, actually a couple months now, I've been meaning to do this one for a while and things just keep coming up. So a little while ago, I did a video about Yusuf who said, well, Allah in the Bible, right? And I said, Allah's not in the Bible, not all. Well, I was wrong. I've done some more research, and I have 100% proof that Allah is in the Bible. So, you shaved. Yes. Yes, I did. I shaved down. I needed to get rid of the poof. It was getting way too poofy, and I kind of need to look professional. So, my freedoms do end occasionally. So, and my wife doesn't like it as much, but my family kind of does. So, and it makes me look a lot cleaner. Not like a hobo on YouTube. Though I make about as much money on YouTube. Since they took away my monetization. So, let's see who's all here. Hey! Say a special welcome. And welcome. I'm hoping you join us on a live stream, or our weekly live stream that we've been doing, and we've got one coming up on Tuesday for the Apologetic Empire Discord server, and I'm hoping you can join me for that, but we'll see. I haven't picked topics yet. I just have a placeholder there. No, it's the same intro. Same intro. I'm still working on the new intro. In fact, I'm hoping to work on it tonight so I can get some new videos uploaded, as well as clips from our last Apologetic Empire Discord live stream. So, okay, let's get all comfy. We have two subjects for you guys today. Like I said, 100% proof that Allah is in the Bible, and we've had some recent events occur with Kyle Rittenhouse. I hope I said it right. That I'd like to talk about. So, just got off work. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad I worked out the timing so you can join us just as you get off work. That's fantastic. So, those are the main two subjects that we'll be hitting. So, without further ado, let's hit our first subject, which is, of course, Allah in the Bible. So, we'll be looking at, in order to tackle this subject, we'll be looking at both Quran and biblical references. We'll be examining what we know for a fact about the God Allah, without a shadow of a doubt, by his own omissions. So we know, we look in the Quran and we find Quran 13:42. And those who lived before, when your people who rejected God schemed against God's messenger, but the ultimate scheme belongs to God, who knows what every soul yearns, and the believers will soon know to whom the future belongs. So just to get it set up, Allah has claimed many sort of attributes in the Quran. He's claimed to be certain things, but there's one specific thing that we know without a shadow of doubt must be true, and both Christians and Muslims can both agree on this concept. We can both agree that Allah is the best of schemers, the best of liars. So, and this is supported over and over and over again in the Quran. We see again, and they, the disbelievers, schemed, and Allah schemed against them, and Allah is the best of schemers. Quran 3, verse 54. So if we can all agree that Allah is the greatest of all schemers, and that you have to believe, if you do believe that the Quran is true, and that Allah is the best of all schemers, and he's the best of all liars, he's the best one at deceiving people, right? He's the best. There's no one else even close to him. Then how can we believe anything else that he says? It's like the old thing. If you had two doors and one person always told you the truth and one person always told you the lies, what would you ask them to find out which door led to an escape and which one led to death? So the one thing you know about Allah, and everyone agrees on this, is he's the best of liars. Also translated as deceivers. Yes, they try to slip it in as planners, but that's not what that word actually means. No, schemer, deceiver is what it actually means, not planner, although a lot of Muslims try to slip that in, and that's just not the way that works. No, you can't bend the words to form whatever you desire it to form. It just doesn't work that way. So we continue on through, and we have got a ton of references. I'm going to go and pull up a few here. So remember, prophet. So they're referring to someone talking to the prophet. When the disbelievers plotted to take you captive, kill, or expel you, they schemed, and so did Allah. He is the best of schemers or deceivers, depending on which version you look at. And kind of how you translate that. Quran 8:30. We got it again and again and again. So, and they, the disbelievers, schemed, and Allah schemed against them, and Allah is the best of schemers. Go back here. Hey, my wife is on as well. Hey. Okay. So continuing on to our next reference. We have again. Indeed, the hypocrites think so. Think to deceive Allah, but he is deceiving them. And when they stand for prayer, they stand lazily, showing themselves to the people and not remembering Allah except a little. So we've got over and over again, we can all agree on this point, this character trait. And this is the character trait that we're examining, because that's, if he's the best of all liars, if he's the best of all deceivers, if he's the best of all schemers, then I can't take anything else he says seriously. Just like a habitual liar, I couldn't take anything they said seriously except for the statement that they are a liar. That's all I can go with. So now that we know this major character trait, it's not just a little part. I mean, this is key to his character. This is built in deep, even so deep as to lie to Muhammad. Remember, O Muhammad, when Allah showed them to you in a dream as few, and if he had shown them to you as many, you, the believers, would have lost courage and would have despaired in the matter of whomever sorry. But Allah saved them, you, from that. but Allah saved you from that. Indeed, he is knowing of what within the breasts. So this came from, sorry, there I had a bit of a mind fart halfway through it. This verse came to Muhammad after Allah had given him a miraculous dream, in which he showed the enemy being few in this battle that was upcoming. And when Muhammad went to fight, the battle was not so few. So we see Allah not only lying to disbelievers, or to, fool, or to undo the plots of the evil ones, according to the Quran, but we also see him lying to Muhammad. We also see him misleading Muhammad. I think this is a key thing, because this shows a very interesting character trait, that Allah is willing to lie to anyone. Now we have, turning to the Bible. So we go to the Bible. We see first in Exodus 20, verse 2 through 17, we see where God gives the 10 commandments. And one of those commandments happens to be, thou shalt not lie. So if God is, as biblically and Christians believe, and as well as the Torah teaches, God is good and he is a just God, if lying is part of his very nature, as Allah, the God in the Quran, so far is very clear that that's part of his nature, then if they are the same God, God would not be considered a good judge. He can't be good if he's willing to violate his own rules. So now we do see the God in the Bible misleading people, or not directly, but allowing them to come to their own conclusions. And if they have itchy ears, let them lead themselves astray. We see him do that, but we don't see him ever directly himself mislead or lie to people, as we see in the Quran, where Allah directly lies to Muhammad, where Allah directly deceives people. Even in the case of, according to them, the death of Christ. Because Allah deceived them by making someone else look like Jesus and allowing that person to die in Jesus' stead, which kind of sounds like substitutionary sacrifice, actually. But that's a little inconsistent. So we know that the God of the Bible has put down, saying that lying is evil and it is wrong. It states it over and over and over again that liars have no place with God. But if lying is a key part of God, then that couldn't be. So obviously Allah can't be the God of the Bible, because it's a very inconsistent. So on top of that, we have Revelation 21 verse 8, which says, but the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vain, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magical arts, the idolaters, and liars, all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. So in Revelation, God is showing what is yet to come. And he's saying that all liars. Well, God, again, if Allah and the God of the Bible are the same, this could not be. Because then the God of the Bible would have to go and be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. But that's not possible. So obviously he's not sending himself to this. He's not consigning himself. So you do not have that. But that was a corrupted part of the Bible. Well, no. We do actually see Allah in the Bible. We do actually see Allah in the Bible. Now, I'm not cutting sections out of the Quran. I know that Muslims like to cut sections out of the Bible and say, well, this is true and this is not. What I'm saying is either you take all the Quran or you take none of the Quran. I like taking none of the Quran. But I don't snip and choose which ones. And this is also, let's see. So, getting back on track now that I've been slightly misdirected. But yes, they will claim quite a bit that the Bible is corrupt, although Muhammad himself confirmed that the Bible was not corrupt, at least during his time. So, we really do find Allah right here. In John 8, verse 44. You belong to the Father. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. I think this is one section that the one who is giving Muhammad his visions, misleading Muhammad, I think was actually speaking the truth in this one instance where he's claiming to be the best of deceivers, the most cunning of deceivers. By that, he is literally taking on the same name that he's called in the Bible. And we can see the parallel here that both Christians and Muslims can agree. Allah is the best of deceivers. According to the Quran, that's true. And according to the Bible, he is Satan. So, hey, welcome. Sorry. Well, the problem with this is, this goes back to the Bible's corruption. The problem with saying that the Bible is corrupt is when was it corrupted and how was it corrupted? Is it theoretically even possible to corrupt the Bible? I think the problem is by the time of Muhammad, it was so widespread that any sort of addition to the Bible would be easily seen. There was no way of controlling it. In fact, we find this with actually in the Quran, we find it with the third caliph who burnt copies of the Quran because they weren't consistent. Because people were just copying down left and right whatever they remembered. And he wanted to isolate it all and burn it, but he missed a few parts, according to some of the more reliable individuals. So that is Allah in the Bible. There's no doubt in my mind that Allah is in the Bible, just not in the position they say they wanted. The Council of Nicaea. No, because you still had many copies. And you still had lots and lots of copies. And even then, that was hundreds of years before Muhammad ever came around. And again, Muhammad said, this is legitimate. Christians, you got to judge by your book. And Jews, you got to judge by your book. And Arabs, you got to judge by this new book I'm giving you. So unless he was saying that, again, Allah, being the best of all deceivers, was just deceiving Muhammad, in that case, which we can all agree on that topic as being a possibility. Yes. The message is the same in all Bible versions. Again, the difference, one of the major difference between the Quran and the Bible is that Muslims believe that the Quran is the exact words of God. Christians do not believe that the Bible is the exact words of God. It's the message that it is being given, being what it's telling, the message that it's being told. So in that case, not so much. So, and we have texts from the first century and they line up with the Bibles that we currently have. The translations. Again, one word can mean multiple different things in a different language. I know that in the most prolific one and the one that I always go to is, of course, Greek love. There are 5 different Greek loves. In English, there's one. Love. The good news. Yes, the good news. Everything leading up to that. Yes. Yes, Gen Z is doing a stream here shortly, and I look forward to joining Mr. Phil Fox and you guys over there. So I'm not going to make this one extremely long. This is just one that I had to follow up with because it seemed terribly obvious when Muslims are calling Allah the greatest of all deceivers, and then I look at the Bible and it says the greatest of all deceivers is Satan, and I'm like, yeah, something does actually line up for once. These connected dots. Okay. Will someone be joining you? Me? No. Gen Z will be on with Mr. Phil Fox. There's 4 Greek words. What's the 5th? I might have misspoke. I think 4 it is. It's been a while since I've reviewed Greek. So different versions of the Bible. Yes, and what is really nice about the different versions of the Bible is you can cross-reference between different scriptures. So those are always fantastic. Okay, so this whole thing, let's move on to our next subject, shall we? And I will go ahead and break this one up with the intro once again. So Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm hoping I'm saying his name correctly, because if not, I do apologize for the inconvenience of that. No, he's butchering my name. Well, get used to it. So the whole story with him is that Black Lives Matter once again was doing some protesting. Yeah, it seemed to be, and this stuff is still going on. This stuff has not slowed down at all. It just keeps rolling, steam rolling right along. So now Kyle here, I'll show a picture. There he is cleaning up some of the graffiti, the Black Lives Matter, like leaving places just like tissue paper everywhere, in about the same amount of content and use. So, oh, good. Gen C says, I am saying it right. Good, I'm not butchering it. I'm really bad at names. I'm really bad at names. I really do butcher a lot of names badly. But basically, the whole thing is his friend had a car dealership, and he wanted some people to come there just to give security, to make sure that there's nothing goes wrong while these peaceful burning protesters were there. At this point, do we even need to pretend like we are actually believing that they're peaceful at all? So they're doing their thing. They're rioting. He went down with a group of friends. I think it was the militia actually that he went down with, if what I've read is correct, and he's part of it. There he is there with a couple others. They're there outside the car dealership, just protecting it. Well, some of the protesters got injured. Kyle has some training with him. There's video of him going out and actually giving some medical aid to these protesters, even though he disagrees with them. He was out there giving them medical aid, giving them treatment to make sure that they didn't get hurt any more than what they already were. Although if you're bashing down things and burning things, let's be honest, that's not the best way of not getting hurt. So, what is my last name? Okay. Boyd. Answer your question. What is my last name? Boyd. It's Kyle Boyd. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I've been saying it wrong for so many years. So he's down there just doing that. He gets separated from his group because he's out there treating these protesters. He's going beyond what he was supposed to be doing now. He is 17 years old. Fortunately, in this state he lives in, which is 20 minutes away from this location, across the border, in the state that he lives in, 17, you're able to have an AR-15. You're able to have a long rifle. You're good. But the state that this dealership was in, you need to be 18, not 17, which he was. So he got himself in a little bit of hot water because of that, and that's about the only thing they can stick him with. But as the night progressed, he did need to defend himself against these protesters. And you can see the whole video actually on YouTube still, I think, unless they've taken it down, which I've seen them take down a lot of this reporting, and I'm really kind of concerned about it. So there he is again and this is grainier because it was just a little phone that they were using to record it. But that's him on the ground. The protesters there are the ones attacking him. The first one tried to stomp his head into the ground, which again, that's asphalt, which can kill people. In fact, there's been many deaths because people have been stomped into the ground. We've seen this even with the protests. So protester number one went to do that, got shot, died. Protester number two here comes up with a loaded gun to execute him. Pulls it around to shoot him in the head at point blank range. Kyle then defends himself. Now, earlier this night, while he was separated, he did shoot again in self-defense. This is why he was trying to get to the cops to turn himself in. That first time, there was people shooting at him and throwing things at him, and he acted again in self-defense. So on all three of these occasions, it was all self-defense. There's no question in it. So on top of that, you had mob mentality surrounding you. He waited until, literally watching the video, he waited till the last possible second before defending himself. And we've seen this over and over again with these protests going on, where you've had a store owner who decides, you know what, I'm going to defend my store. And he gets beaten into the ground. He dies there on the street because he decided not to let himself be robbed, to defend himself. And this is the same thing that was going to happen if Kyle would have waited a couple of more seconds. He would have been beaten into the ground and would have died. Quite simply. The guy was literally stepping over him, ready to put his boot on his face, and my wife will not be able to join us for Q&A, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Ray put his boot through Kyle's mouth, and that's when Kyle shot in self-defense. There is no question about it. Is there a lot of riots in Ohio? Now, remember, I am from Ohio. So, no, there has not been a lot. There really hasn't been a lot. There's been some. A lot of protests. And again, everyone has the right to protest. You have the right to protest. There's no question about that. It's just when you start burning start burning things down, we have issues. Now, riots in Worcester, Ohio. Not sure where else. I don't know if it's actually riots. I was saying that. I don't know if it was actually riot. I know that it was a protest. I've not heard of anything burning yet. And I've been trying to keep my ear to it, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong about it. And if it's stretching all the way out into Ohio, which, let's be honest, the country cares about us like once every 4 years when election happens. So, perfectly peaceful protests. Yes, peacefully burning down cop cars and peacefully shooting people, peacefully beating people's heads into the ground. Now, in Worcester, that doesn't surprise me. Yes, Worcester, Ohio is one of our college cities. It's all built around college, and this Black Lives Matter movement has a lot of push whenever it comes to college. What's in Ohio? Yes, I'm from Ohio. We're the other Great Lake half of the year. The other half of the year, we're one big ice skating rink. So it feels like it. It gets cold, and then it gets hot and wet, and then it gets cold again. So, yeah, I don't think in Worcester that they are that bad. In fact, I'll just go ahead and go into Q&A. At least I've not heard anything yet. Again, I could be out of the loop, which wouldn't surprise me much. But you know what? I had a run-in this week, and I'll go ahead and make that mention while I'm letting you guys do Q&A section. I had a run-in with the Sheriff's Department this week. Oh, no. Yes, I did. I got the police actually called on me. I got the sheriff's called on me. They came out to arrest me. No, they came out to check what the heck I was doing, which I was just out for my normal walk. I walk once a day, go back and forth, just walking up and down our street. Now, granted, since this whole thing, this beginning of the year, I don't know what's coming down the pipeline. I strongly agree with the Second Amendment. In fact, I think that everyone should have the ability to defend themselves in whatever situation that comes up. And that includes any sort of physical protection here, as well as offensive protection. So defensive and offensive. So I'm walking up and down. The cop pulls up. And let me see if I've got that. And yes, I do. And this is what I look like. I still had the beard. I trimmed it afterwards, but I still had the beard. And yes, that is a bulletproof vest. Yes. So yes, and Ohio is an open carry. So I was openly carrying, and I did have a vest on. And I guess this freaked out one of my neighbors, which is really, really weird because I live in the middle of nowhere. So, and there's like 3 houses, and I know one of those 3 houses must have called the cops. Because I don't think the other houses could have seen me. Just because they're back so far from the road. And I was just walking on the road, public property, up and down there, up and down, just get used to wearing the vest, wearing all the, everything on it. I mean, this thing is heavy and it doesn't breathe. Metal plates don't breathe. Who knew? You don't get a lot of air circulation with that. So, the sheriff's department, the deputy pulled up in front of me. I was walking, black car comes up, starts slowing down. Again, from the front, I couldn't really tell. They're still quite a ways away. So I figured that's probably what it was. I figured that was probably what was going to happen. So I figured the cop was that someone was going to call the police sooner or later. And if not, then I've got good neighbors. But obviously, there are some neighbors who are paranoid. So a cop pulls over. Hey, I ain't screwing around. I go complete submission. I go hands behind the back of my head. I go down on my knees. And I wait there for the cop to stop rolling up. Because he's still driving up, and I'm already on my knees, my hands behind my head. Ready to go, man. I ain't reaching for anything. I ain't messing around. So, complete compliance. So, cop pulls up. I'm still on my knees. He starts talking to me. I let him know who I am. You know, I live on the street. I'm just walking up and down, get used to the weight. So we go through this whole thing. Eventually, he says, "You can put your hands down, stand up. Obviously, you're complying. Obviously, you're not trying to pull anything." So, but the sheriff pulled up behind me. His deputy's front. We talked. We had a nice little pleasant talk. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. They asked for my ID. I give them my ID. You know, you just obey everything they say. Just complete obey. And you know what? The deputy got a little tired of me constantly asking for permission to do everything. You know, like, you want my ID? I said, it's right there. I'm going to go ahead and, you mind if I reach for my ID, which is on the side? It's a little pouch I have on the side of my vest. And he said, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So I go ahead and pull it out, give it to him. But I wanted to make sure that he knew exactly what I was doing. I verbalized everything I was doing, asked for permission repeatedly, enough to get him a little annoyed enough to say, as long as you're not reached for a gun, you're okay. You don't need to keep asking for permission. So, but it was good. It was good. It was good. It was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with it. So let's go ahead and take some questions since my wife cannot join me, which is always disappointing when my wife can't join me, but sometimes you can't. So, what do I think of material things? They're temporary, they're passing, everything needs to have an objective. Everything that you have should have an objective. As far as material things, if it comes between my life and material things can be bought again. You can't replace life. But if someone's threatening someone else's life, then yes, you have the right to defend that individual to the best of your abilities. Definitely if they're calling for defund the police everywhere in the United States. And this is right now extreme leftist concepts that they're pushing, where we're going to defund the police, we're going to get rid of them, but those extremes sometimes make their ways, in fact, most of the time make their ways to become mainstream eventually. So always keeping an idea on that. Let's be honest, banning police is not a good idea. But in the situation of Kyle, it's not, he was part of the local militia. So he was part of the militia. So isn't that what they want? Isn't that what Black Lives Matter wants? Get rid of the cops and just let the people police themselves? Or only the people that they believe should be able to police themselves? So if you are a Marvel fan, what is your thoughts of the passing of the Black? I didn't know. What is your thoughts on the passing of the Black Panther? I didn't know about it. So I got no clue what you're talking about, actually. So, socialism, yes. Socialism, they are pushing very much, and that was extreme leftist concept. Now it's mainstream. I mean, we had how many people run on the Democratic ballot that was socialist? At least claimed to be socialist. Let's be honest. Stay on topic. Well, at this point, we're just doing Q&A. So I don't know about the Marvel, but I've kind of fallen out as a fan of Marvel. So Black Panther was a decent movie. Extremely racist. But in fact, there's some statements that they were just extremely racist on, and I was shocked that they even allowed that in there. The far left is pushing the socialist agenda. Not so much anymore. It's more mainstream. Was at least at one point. Hey, look who's here. Hi, buddy. Say hi. You want to come with Dada? Come here to Dada. Yeah, huh? You had fun over at Grandma and Grandpa's? Yeah, huh? Yeah. Biden or Trump? Your political views. I don't like Trump morally. I think there's a lot that Trump does that is immoral. But considering...
Wow.
I got really scared there for a second. Considering Biden would have to be alive to have to be able to be president, I'm going with Trump. And of course, Biden's running mate is extreme on the left. Extreme. So I'd say definitely Trump just because he's better. And to be honest with you, he has actually kept his promises to the best of his ability, to my understanding. As far as what his original promises were when he ran in 2016. So, and that's kind of unheard of. So, can you sing? No.
Angelo's singing.
Yeah, he might sing. Little boy might sing. I'm done.
Stage fright.
Stage fright. Now everyone's watching. You don't want to sing.
You're done? Did you just say done?
He's done. He's very done, and he's just clearly said it. No, he can't. Gen Z. Yeah, that's right. I can't really sing that well. Where are you?
Brother, you are a family guy.
Yes, that is a very true description. Is that right, buddy? Is that right? Want that as hat? There you go.
So, some clarifications. I'm not sure what you guys talked about in like the 30 seconds that it took me to walk over. But there are 7 Greek loaves. What do you guys mean 5 or 4?
I don't remember all of them.
I even put them in the comments.
It's been a while. You know what? I was focusing on other things.
Also,
I figured you'd come over here and tell me. Definitely if I messed up, which I probably did.
So Gen Z up here, I don't know if you saw this, but I thought this was hilarious. He said, I picture your brother in Christ's life. Picture is him just holding a Bible in one hand and a gun in the other.
That sounds pretty good to me.
I said,
that sounds good.
All right, then. I said, Gen Z, that's accurate. He woke up like this.
He woke up like this. Oh, my gosh. Well, if I go back to pull up the image again. There we go. I do have my Desert Eagle. And I do have my 1911 on there.
Oh, it's concealed.
It's not concealed. You just can't see it in the picture because it's behind my arm.
Plus, it's private property, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes, it's my private.
But yeah, on his vest, as far as the whole Bible thing, can you be quiet? On his vest, he has what? What do those tags say? Those nice little patches.
The first one is 1776, which is founding of the United States. The white one underneath the red flag is "In God We Trust," and then the one that's has red writing on there, which you can't really tell, is what was it? How do you say it?
I'm just gonna let you do it.
Just gonna let me do it. I can say it if I've got it in front of me, but it means God wills it. It was
it's like Dios will.
It was the Crusaders' battle cry
butchered that.
On the American flag with, of course, a cross on it.
Yep.
So yeah, getting all fancy with that. As far as Bible, I want it very clear. I ain't Antifa. Antifa ain't me.
And I got little Jesus fishy that says Jesus on them.
And that was expensive. That little Jesus fishy was expensive.
2 Jesus fishy.
2 Jesus fishy was more expensive than 2 of my patches. I'm like, what? You want that much for Jesus fishy?
But it says Jesus on them.
I know it says Jesus on them, but that's not justified extreme expense.
Yes, it does.
So let's see here. First thing, Trump.
Trump isn't a politician. Trump is pro-America.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
Which if you run a company and you make promises, you have got to do those promises. And politicians, not so much. So, and he's run it more like business and making business promises than anything else, which has been fantastic. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let's cast out the traitor, make him walk the plank. He says I'm leaving for Phil's stream.
Yeah, pull that up. Go over to Mr. Phil Fox's stream. You guys say hi. This is the second part. So, do me a big favor. After we're done here, go over there and ask like 1,000 questions. Just ask Gen Z all the questions. Force him to speak to you and answer every question under the sun, from creation, evolution, politics. Definitely politics. Focus on the politics.
Ask him a bunch of questions about gay pride and force him to sing too. So that'll
be great.
He says no, but don't listen to that. It's a secretly yes.
It's a yes. He actually means yes. We're just reinterpreting. We're acting like Muslims.
He
actually means yes.
It's a typo. It's supposed to be do, and it just accidentally added an apostrophe T.
Your brother in Christ for president. I don't know if I'd want that job. Tell you truthfully, I don't know. It's too limiting.
See,
really
he says politics, please.
Yeah, just cover up the not part. Just
politics, please.
See, all I see is politics, please. That's all I see.
Thank you very much for being a good supporter.
Thank you very much. Yes. I'm sorry, Gen Z, but I'm lining you up here. America. Yes, America.
America.
That is a country. A very nice country.
Best in the world.
Yeah.
So far. We'll see how long
mostly,
that lasts.
Yes. 10 years ago, yes. Now, kind of tearing itself apart. Really rapidly. But people are still clamoring to come in, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what happens later this year.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath yet. Again, I didn't want to make this announcement on here because I do believe in guys and I love you guys. I'm going to put, for those of you that are on the Discord, on the Apologetic Empire Discord, I am going to put my list on there. Everything I got for this, I'm going to put on there. Right now, I don't have the. Let me scooch over. Someone here's one. Ha! There's a helmet on that. It's an array Excel spreadsheet that has the item, how much I paid for it, the promo code I used for it, and the link to the website that I got it from. So there is a level 3A helmet that goes with this that I have not yet received. There is the vest here that's on there, and it was $75 for the vest. That's before shipping, before handling, before the promo code, and before taxes. Of course, we've got the sticker, and these are just Velcro stickers. They just throw on there. Actually, if you give me 1 second, go ahead and take this image off.
Fancy shirt back.
Yeah, fancy. Okay. So here's the actual vest. Right here. We have got, again, the 1776.
Desvolt.
And again, these are just Velcro packs. So
Patches.
there you go.
Yeah.
Just a close up of that one. And a close up of this one. This carrier, the carrier itself is fantastic. I love this thing. It distributes weight extremely well, and considering the plates that I have in it are level 4 plates, they are fantastic, and that link is in the Excel as well. On the back, I've got, those of you that have done hiking should be familiar with this. It's a camel pack. It has 2.5 liters of maximum water in it. that goes through this tube, through these nice Velcro loops to the front, and I can just take it off. There's a valve on there, and I can just drink from it whenever I'm hiking. And again, I go for, 2 miles in this thing? A mile and a half? Mile and a half to 2 miles every day on this thing. And the In God We Trust is on the back now. So I changed that. On the Excel sheet is also... so there's 2 different types of body armor. There's hard and soft body armor. The hard body armor is the actual physical huge plate that basically in level 4 plate can stop a 308. It can stop 556. So assault rifles, it can stop a 308 from a decent rifle. It can stop. So those are what you guys would need the links where you can find it. Again, look at your local laws to figure out what the requirements actually are. Because again, when I carry this stuff, I am completely complying with all laws and regulations. There's also soft body armor, which is on there, which is concealable. You can wear it underneath clothing. That is what I plan on wearing basically daily whenever I get them. So let's go ahead. Navy Steel special equipment. No, that's not.
Bye-bye.
This is probably a lot cheaper than what they use. Hey, bye-bye, buddy. Go have fun. So, but I wanted to put it on there. I will have the links to the patches. Everything will be included on there. Most of it's just the patches are mostly from Amazon. The rest of the stuff should be pretty easy. The plates themselves. Because I bought one set for me, I bought one set for my wife. So the plates are Spartan armor system. These are heavy duty level 4 plates. I mean, that thing sits right here. Protects my heart, lungs, the critical. I need that systems. So no, I will not look like Batman soon, but those again, that will stop a 30-08. My gosh. They'll stop a 308. My brain is just not working today. They'll stop a 308. It'll keep you protected. Multiple rounds, multiple rifle rounds. So I will release that on the Discord for anyone to download that wants to pick those up. He'll be like Batman soon. No, I hope not, because that's a lot of gadgets. This stuff is already heavy. Let me tell you, that's already. Let's see if it's got the weight on the back here. Does this not have the weight? Darn it. It does have a 5-year warranty, though. These are nice. They came actually pretty quick. They said they'll take 8 to 10 weeks. I got them in like 2 weeks. So I'd highly recommend ordering those. Soft body armor we're still waiting on. I'd highly recommend, again, defense is critical. There's no point in doing it if you can't even defend yourself. I have a date tomorrow, so can you help me? I don't know what to do. Be yourself. Really, that sounds like such a stupid thing. That sounds so stupid, right? That sounds like the stupidest help ever. But yes, just be yourself. Be yourself, man. You'll be good. Relax. Be yourself. If you're going to date to marry, and that's how I've always handled dating, is I'm going not to date so much as to court. Just be yourself. And don't pretend. Don't put on a show. Just be who you are. Because if you put on a show, then they get a false sense of who you are, and then that will not work. That will not work at all. So, okay. So I will release that on the Discord. It'll be a file that you can download for free with all the links, the promo codes to save. I think Save like $250 on the entire thing. And you don't have to do the entire thing. You can choose what you want out of it, but at least you have something to reference if you guys want to look at getting body armor. Again, if you do decide to get this stuff, get used to wearing it. I know in Ohio, the only law with body armor is that you can't be a felon. If you commit a felony, you can't wear body armor. And I'm not really even sure why. It's not like body armor is a weapon. It's to defend you against weapons. And I think everyone should have the right to defend themselves no matter what state they're at. So that's my recommendation for your date is just be yourself. And don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Like to debate a Muslim and an atheist in a few... Oh. Trinity and God, like 2 topics. Okay, what, are you debating them at the same time? Are you debating them at the same time or separately? Because I don't know. Like to debate a Muslim and an atheist in a few months. It sounds like you're debating them at the same time. If you're debating them at the same time, it could be a pain. Have I talked to Cole or... Yeah, I've talked to Cole. Gabe. I've talked to Gabe and I've talked... Yeah, I was just at... Even though I don't agree with the Boy Scouts, how they have handled themselves the last few months, I do support my boys who I was with. Yeah, I've talked to them. They all have my number, I believe. And it was just at one of their courts of honor for Eagle Scout. So, do not mean a doctor, a scholar, at least my level, no. A 1v1. Okay, that's not bad. At the same time, yes, it would be impossible to have them at the same time. That's why I was really confused, because it kind of sounded like they were at the same exact time. If you're trying to debate 2 extremely different mindsets, worldviews at the same exact time, it would be really hard to do. I'm not good at it. Counts on what sort of debate you're doing. Are you doing like a formalized debate like David Wood does? Are you doing more like street debate where you're just talking back and forth about a certain subject? Or what are you doing? I think would be the best question, because the tactics for each of those is vastly different. Vastly different. So you just came late. Yeah, sorry, bud. If you have any questions, you can fire them off. If not, this stream will be available. 10 hours. Like Woods versus hijab, maybe street. Because if straight, it's less structured. If you've got your opening and then you've got your rebuttal, you go through your going back and forth with rebuttals, and then you go into your culture. Those are extremely different than like talking on the street, just talking with someone. Because if you're just talking with someone, then I definitely use the tactics that are outlined in the book. Well, tactics. In order to bring the conversation into a place where you want it to be. Which verse mentions Allah in the Bible? And greetings from Canada. Yes! I'll go ahead and take that. Even though we are looking at wrapping up, I will go ahead and take that just to be nice. I won't go through the entire thing, but I'll go through the main punch of it. In the Quran, Allah is described very clearly as the greatest of all liars, deceivers. There are so many verses on that. We do see in John 8, verse 44. If I get rid of the scrolling part here, you see, you belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native tongue, for he is a liar and the father of lies. And the only one that ever claims that attribute in both the Quran and the Bible is Allah. Claims to be the origin of lies. In fact, whenever you're talking about is Satan, the version of Satan and Allah, it's very clear that the only reason Satan lies, according to the Quran, is because Allah first lied to him. So, yes, MPF is live. Fantastic. Can I talk about Greek next live stream or sometime in the future? Yes, I can do. What do you want me to talk about Greek? The language, how the language structure built up, how it's different than English? Or are you looking at different... One word might mean multiple different other things in that. Thanks to... Okay. Good luck with the debate. Again, yeah, if you're... Sorry, going back to the debate question. If you're looking at arguing about the Trinity, I'd look up a lot of what David Wood has already done. Sam Shamoon has done some great work as far as that goes. I'd go through how they've already said, because they already have the formula for debate down. So just in general about Greek, I might be able to put something together. I'd rather have a more clear subject, but hey. And Gen Z's stream has started, so if you guys want to jump over to that, that is fantastic. Let me put the link in the description because I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm sorry, Mr. Canada, which I don't remember your name. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're coming in really late as I am wrapping it up to go join Mr. Fox in his live stream. So let me go ahead and throw the link to the live stream in the discussion. Oh, talking about the Greek gods? Sure, that's easy to do. I could definitely do one about the Greek gods. Greek theology, I've studied that quite thoroughly. So I'll definitely have to do that. So do remember to go over and support both Mr. Phil Fox and Gen Z in their discussion. Best debate. Yes. And I will see you guys in the next video. I do not have a cute baby distraction, so I'm just going to have to say goodbye. So bye-bye, everybody.